Well, a Muslim group that is trying to change perception says Islamic followers in Australia have themselves to blame for their negative image in the media. And it's about to launch an ad campaign to show what Muslims are really like.
Yeah, Dear Muhammad, the man behind the campaign, admits Muslims can be whingers. Joining us now, Neil Mitchell from 3AW in Melbourne and Michael Smith from 2UE in Sydney. Neil, is he right that some Muslims are whingers?
Oh, he's probably right. I mean, you find whingers in all sorts of areas. I think he's touched on a really important thing here, though. Understanding too often is expected to flow one way. There should be understanding going both ways. There is some illogical racist reaction towards Muslims in this country, but it's based often on the uncompromising attitude you get from some Muslim leaders who say, oh, women are pieces of meat, if they don't dress properly, we want this country to live under Sharia law, that sort of thing. I think that he's touched on something important. Understanding goes both ways, and if Muslims, the average Muslim being a moderate, decent person, if they can understand what's underlying some of the fear and the attitudes in this country, it helps to break down the prejudices. I think he has really touched on an important thing, and that is that flow of understanding and tolerance both ways.
Yeah, well said. Smithy, is an ad campaign the answer?
I don't know that this ad campaign is necessarily the answer. I've had him on the radio show. I've spoken to him at length. They've got some quite provocative billboards up around Sydney that are unmissable on major freeways that say things like, Jesus, Prophet of Islam. And there's been complaints to the Press Council about them. And I put it to Dear Muhammad that a lot of people find that really offensive. Why did you do it? Why did you open that can of worms? And he says, well, that's our view. Jesus is a prophet of Islam. I put back to him, well, many people would say, you know, Muhammad was married to a 9-year-old and consummated at 11. A lot of people would say that's paedophilia, or he was a sex offender. How would you feel if somebody put up a billboard saying that? And he said, oh, well, you couldn't do that. And it comes back to the two-way street thing. There's probably a good reason that, politely, we don't talk about sex, religion or politics, and we probably hit on the trifecta here this morning. I wonder whether this campaign is genuinely intended to foster understanding, or is it intended to be provocative? I really don't know.
Okay. All right, let's move on and